Was it a good game by Colorado, or was it just self-implosion by USC? Let's go ahead and talk about it. 800-224-2004. We always start with the winners on this show, so congratulations are in order to USC. They improved to 5-0 on the year. They have a good shot of still controlling their destiny of making it to the college football playoff, finding a way to win in the likes of the Pac-12. They're a very good team, very stout offensively. They absolutely have the quarterback that people are going to remember for years on end. They are. They absolutely are. Because Caleb Williams is an alien. The dude is just not from this planet, and he doesn't play football to anyone's other standard. There's no one to compare him to. Oh, he's Patrick Mahomes 2.0. Nope. That's such an unjustly unfair conversation to have. What he is he's one of one, and he's making a headline. He's making a name for himself. And he's guaranteeing that when the moment comes, whether or not he wants to go pro, he's going to make a lot of money. Like, he can go and have every conversation with NIL. He can have every conversation with USC. Hey, I want to come back, but I'm only going to come back for this asking price. Yeah. Okay, here, sign off on the dotted line. Here you go. They could do that if they really want to. Make a big impact in the Big Ten next year. He was phenomenal. I mean, the dude just absolutely was slinging the rock. He had over 400 passing yards. Finally threw an interception. Finally through, like, what is it now? 5 games. 21 touchdowns, no interceptions. Now you can't say that. 6 TDs. 6 TDs on the day. Not to mention also, he was completing 75% of his throws. Mechanically sound, surgical type of performance from him. The run game, really good performance. Really strong. Marshawn Lloyd, kickstart everything. Every receiver made a headline play. Every single one. Taj Washington, he had almost 130 receiving yards on the day. Brendan Rice, he had 2 touchdowns. Mario Williams found his way into the end zone. Kryshawn Hudson had 40 yards. Michael Jackson, Dorian Singer had only 2 catches for 24 yards. He had a touchdown. Offensively, they're sound. And the line actually isn't that bad. Like, I had some questions going into this year that there was maybe going to be a step back with the offensive line play, especially with what they lost. But they are doing a great job protecting Caleb Williams. They really are. This is an offense that's going to click on all cylinders, and they can beat anybody. They absolutely can go toe-to-toe and probably dismantle any team in college football. And then comes the defensive side of the football. And there's always the 2 parts to every story. There's always 2 angles. Here's the problem. The same thing that you saw last year, the same miscues, the mental mistakes, the inability to get stops on third down, the infrastructure that is miscommunication led by Alex Grinch, it's all there. It's all still there. And this is what's going to keep back USC from winning a national title in 2023. This is going to keep them out of the Pac-12 title race, in my opinion. This is going to be what eventually puts the nail in the coffin on Lincoln Riley can't get the big win. In the Big 12, it's fine. Oh, in the Big 12, you got to beat Texas. You have to beat Texas, and it's smooth sailing all the way to Arlington. And he did it almost every single year. 4 straight conference titles. Guy was electric. Guy had it. It was just there for him. Now you're not doing that in the Pac-12. The Pac-12 has offenses that can put up the exact same amount of points as you. Washington State with Cam Ward, you don't think that dude can sling the rock 50 yards down the field for an easy 6? Michael Penix Jr. did have a touchdown, still had over 350 passing yards against a very sound Arizona team. Bo Nix is probably the least talked about Heisman contender in all of this conversation. And it's sad because he should be really highlighted, especially with what he's done this year. And you're telling me that USC is the team to beat? USC is number 10 in the JSI poll this week because they have to be. Because if I cannot discredit what this offense can do and what this offense is building and what this offense is promising and what this offense is delivering every single Saturday and not at least give them the flowers, they should be a top 5 team in the sport. They absolutely should. They're so fundamentally sound, and methodically they're able to win on all different stages. Deep shots down the field, quick third down strikes, the ability to run it inside the red zone. They can do it all. They really can. But once again, you see the same problems. Oh, but Cole, Colorado, they're a good team. I'm not saying Colorado's bad. I'm saying Colorado was vastly overrated by the media after what happened with a week 1 victory against TCU, with a massive win against Nebraska, and the ability to hold their own and come back against Colorado State. I'm not saying that this is a bad Colorado team. I'm saying that Colorado is not even in spitting distance of USC in terms of talent this year. And guess what? Once again, USC played down to the level of competition. 800-224-2004. It's just, it's one bad game, Cole. It's one bad game for USC. It's just one bad defensive performance. No, it isn't. No, it isn't. Colorado can't run the football to save their life. Colorado cannot move the ball on the ground because they don't have the dudes up front to hold a block long enough for Dylan Edwards, for Anthony Hankerson, for Shadur Sanders to break free for massive gains down the field. They can't run the football. They haven't been able to do it against TCU, against Nebraska, anybody. They rushed for 193 yards and they found in the end zone twice. Shadur Sanders came alive. He chose violence in the second half. 4 TDs, 371 yards. It was pitiful defensive outings. Oh, but again, Colorado, great team, great offensive execution. Tremendous play calling by Sean Lewis, who found a way in the fourth quarter to mess it up. I mean, it was a bad showing. Arizona State's offense is one of the worst in college football. You only won by 14. Why? Because your defense gave up over 353 yards to Drew Pine and a running back whose last name I can't even pronounce. I can't. Stebeka, 111 rushing yards. They can't run the football. You did it again. How about San Jose State to start off the year? But San Jose State, they're a really good team. They're supposed to be one of the favorites in the Mountain West. They're 1-4. They are 1-4 with losses to Oregon State and to USC. Do you know how many yards that defense allowed? Over 390. Every single game with Alex Grinch leading the charge. Guess what? It's the same formula, and it may work in the Big 12. It may work against Kansas State and Kansas and West Virginia and every other happy-go-lucky song and dance team that you see. It may work there. It doesn't work when every high-tempo, potent offense can hang 50 on you and make it look like an easy day at the office. It doesn't work. And you are wasting an opportunity with what you have at quarterback. Oh, by the way, it gets tougher. It gets a lot tougher. You think that this is the hard part of the schedule? This was supposed to be the warm-up. This was supposed to be the easy coast toward a 6-0 start. And then came the back half of the schedule, where you knew that these were going to be the games that truly dictated who plays in Las Vegas on early December afternoon. Notre Dame's ahead. Notre Dame offensively, you might be able to corral them a little bit. But defensively, this defense can play. This defense can absolutely play. Utah, one of the best defenses in college football this year. Not Pac-12 defenses, overall defenses. Was it a bad showing at times against Oregon State? Yeah, it was. Was also the fact that they didn't have their offense really clicking. They ranked like 113th, play a factor in a loss? Yeah, it did. This defense is going to put you out. Not to mention what Washington's defense is doing. They may not be elite by any standards, but they're number one in turnover rate. No. I'm not saying they're number one in the Pac-12. They're number one nationally in turnover rate. They find ways to get their hands on the football. They're not able to add in a lot of pressure with Braylon Trice, but oh my God, they can find a way to get the ball back in the hands of Michael Penix Jr. Oregon's a top 10 defense in college football. Oregon. Yeah, they basically took the formula that works in Athens, Georgia with Dan Lanning, and they brought that over to Autzen Stadium, and they were rolling. It was just a clinic the last couple weeks. And then they go ahead and they find a way to beat up on Stanford. Yeah, they did that too. Cal got a win. You think right now that USC, the way that they're playing offensively, is going to be enough? It's not even going to come close. Not when Bo Nix is making highlight throws and Bucky Irving can run it for over 200 yards a game. Not when you're finally seeing the rushing attack maybe gain a little bit of continuity with with Washington, and the passing attack has been alive and well for weeks out in Seattle. Not when you potentially get back a healthy Cam Rising and a Brayton Kuthi for Utah and Salt Lake City. Not when UCLA has Dante Moore and a better defense than you. It's not going to work. It's not. So you can say that USC took their foot off the gas and made this game interesting. The bottom line is no, they didn't. They allowed Colorado to gain momentum because the defense can't get a stop to save their life at a proper moment. And what should have been a 14-point, 21-point differential was a nail biter.
Attention,
guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.